we've had to become innovative because it's forced innovation. You know, we're trying to keep the doors open and keep the lights on.
The Modern Eater has traveled the roads of Colorado for years, bringing you the stories of the men and women who produce and serve our food.
Happy people make happy food that make happy customers.
From the peach trees in Palisade to the chili farms in Pueblo, the Modern Eater plows through the Rockies to expose the rising costs of food production and the ripple effect of inflation. Supply chain issues, labor shortages, and dwindling profit margins are plaguing small businesses everywhere. 3 weeks and 1,500 miles on the road, you get inside access to what Coloradans are doing to stay afloat in order to deliver healthy food and tasty beverages to you and your family. This is the 5th annual The Modern Eater Road Trip. Buckle up, let's go.
Wow, this is awesome.
All right, No Man, it's Masters, live broadcasting right now. Put that open up and we can go. Greg Hollenbach and Nick Epstein here at the Salty Crab in beautiful Fort Myers, Florida.
We're back at the Salty Crab. They treat us well, and we might as well stamp this table because we're going to be here for a while.
I agree, and as we get going here, we got to tell you what's on our show today. We've got lined up for you a couple of things, one being we're going to check in at the Shamrock Food Show. Here's the problem, Nick. Do you know the problem?
I want to know the problem, and I want to solve it.
I don't know if we can solve it. It's at the convention center, and when there are so many people in the convention center, the cell service is wonky, almost even terrible. What are you showing me?
We're supposed to have a live look-in. Got it.
We're live. We've got people showing us that our faces are dark.
The Denver Convention Center has a little bit too many people. Our chef, Mark Henry, is going to get back to us when he can.
Yeah, that's cool. And then also coming up on the show today is Erin Boyle. She's the executive director of CHOW. And CHOW, again, I try and always figure out what it is. It's an acronym for Culinary, Hospitality, Outreach, and Wellness.
Absolutely.
I believe that's what it is. And Erin Boyle, she's going to be standing by here soon. We've been here in Fort Myers, Florida. Today was an interesting day because we got up in the Airbnb, our second Airbnb of the week, or of our stay, and we were scheduled to be there until next Tuesday, Nick. And what happened?
It fell short of our expectations. I don't want to say we're first class, high rate, all this, but it had some defects that we needed to address, and we're going to move to a new spot.
So we are moving to a new spot. This is there's so much going on right now here. With the Salty Crab, we had a lot of fun here, and we've enjoyed their food a lot. But right now I want to show a couple of things that we've been doing, and I think the internet service is a little wonky right now, and I want to try and get it going here. This is what live broadcasting is. Nick, show that screen, and let's dig into this. And this is basically just a little recap slideshow, and we'll turn the volume down on that for sure. Or can we? We can do it right here.
Little taste of Florida here for the last week.
Nick, that's a sunset. There's what we're cruising around in right there. That's a Jeep. And right there, right?
This is what the trip is all about. Chefs cooking us gourmet meals.
And that's I don't know, what would you say, the staple of Southwest Florida right there, grouper. And I love grouper.
This is, yeah, I mean, I believe this was at Sky Bar in downtown Fort Myers.
How about right there?
The salad in downtown Fort Myers, Sky Bar.
How about right there?
The sushi, downtown Fort Myers, Sky Bar. Sky Bar has a little bit of everything. Great spot, amazing views on top of the Firestone right in the heart of downtown Fort Myers.
Yeah, downtown Fort Myers, if you think about it, and I don't know how many of you have been to Southwest Florida, but downtown Fort Myers and Fort Myers Beach, I don't know, what is it, about 30 minutes away from each other?
Definitely.
30 minutes away from each other, but very different. The beach is the beach, and downtown you would think, well, it's on the beach, but no, it's on the Caloosahatchee, and it's just I don't know, 20 miles, I would
Yeah.
say, up the Caloosahatchee,
Yes.
and there you go. So that was a little light sushi appetizer that I had there, and the drinks were fantastic. So the view from that place is it's outrageous. It's phenomenal. And I laughed at these. The meat skewers.
The meat skewers.
I don't know, 3 to them. Tenderloin meat skewers, you really can't go wrong. I mean, that's just meat at its finest. It had some mushrooms on there, too.
Yes.
Right?
They were cooked so good that, as embarrassing as it is, after I finished this first plate, I said, bring another one, and I cleaned out the second one, too.
Yeah, so you got 6 of those skewers in you, and I don't know. I mean, your appetite's usually pretty healthy, but two plates of that wasn't enough. So, and there you go. That's a margarita. You have to have a margarita when you're down on the beach, is for sure.
Cabos.
So we're standing by again. Erin Boyle is coming up from CHOW. It's an outreach program based in Denver. We're in Fort Myers, Florida. Myself, Greg Hollenbeck, and Nick Epstein. We're just kind of going down memory lane as we wait for our guests. We're hoping to catch up with Mark Henry, a chef in Colorado Springs, who's at the food show. And connectivity inside the food show is terrible. So we're trying to work through that right there as we are live on Facebook. We had to take a picture of this, right, Nick?
Salon Nicholas. I mean, how could you go wrong? You're going to get a badass cut, and you're going to walk out like you're $1 million. Okay.
Well, all you did was point at the sign, though. You didn't really even
Well, I'm the owner. I can't get my hands dirty. I just have to promote.
That's in downtown Fort Myers, too. Okay, this right here, and, I want to play this, and I don't know if the music's over it. How do we set the stage for this? So we were at a restaurant, unnamed restaurant. If you've ever been there, you probably know the atmosphere. Let's just say they bring their wings out, their food out in a bucket.
Yes, a sports bar in the area, and I wish this picture could tell what the story was, but it just doesn't.
Well, the video will, though. So what we wanted to show here, and this is very, very food service focused right here, and this is not meant to shame. Well, maybe it is. This poor server, she came over, we talked to her, and we said, hey, that was quite the table that you had right there. She said, you know what, this has been the worst shift. It's been the worst shift of my life. And rightfully so. So what we're about to play you here, we'll do the commentary after we show you what this is all about. And we'll just keep the audio off. But take a look. That's a table of, I think, 14 to 17 folks there?
Healthy table.
And
very healthy.
Each one of those individuals, as you can see this young lady as she circles around the table, each one of them had a separate ticket. Probably for about $10 a piece.
And no help from the manager. I mean, when you got a 14 top, it's a team effort.
So let's just talk about the ripple effect of what that does. So as we're waiting for our bucket of food, and again, this wasn't our finest dining moment, but we wanted to watch a little bit of the Denver Broncos preseason game, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a sports bar. And listen, sports bars have their purpose. It's not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be a little tolerant. It's busy. People are coming and going. It is what it is, right? This gal, she was our server as well. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to even take our orders for about 30 minutes because of the ripple effect of what we're seeing here. And I'll just play it again, of the table of 14. And I think, here's the deal. That maybe an association that was meeting or board members of some sort.
Bridge club.
They all had name tags, but each one of them on a separate ticket. Here's what I would say. And people on the stream, I want your feedback from this. This is one of those things where you have to notice it and you have to know what's going on because it's very real and relevant inside the food service world. And if you're an industry person, you know exactly what's going on here. But that gal had to walk around with 14 to 17 different tickets, and that ripple effect affected our table and probably 5 other tables that were not able to see the presence of this woman for another 20 minutes. Nick, how long does it take to walk around that table and do individual tickets for everybody?
Too long, but it's her job. She did it, and you have to have compassion when you're at a restaurant because they're serving you and sometimes it's not going to be in 2 seconds. You got to know what's going on, and we actually knew what was going on because we were sitting right next to the 16 top that needed extra ketchup and extra water and extra iced tea.
So what's the workaround on this? If you're going anywhere with a table, or wanting a table of 15, let's say, even 10, arrange ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Get a pool of money together and say, here's what we're doing today. And if everybody could chip in $20, if there's any money left, don't go berserk. Obviously, if they had an iced tea and a sandwich or whatever it was, but it was just a miserable experience all the way around. That poor girl just wanted to kill herself.
Yeah, you can't roll up with 16 and be like, okay, yeah, we're ready to get service. No.
Yeah.
Talk to the manager, get maybe a private room, and then the manager can help out. And
Not a
send
sports
2
bar on
people.
a Sunday?
No.
Everybody on the same ticket. So that was worth noting, and I'd love to have your feedback from the stream. This is why. I mean, I say it. I'm a sunset tweaker, but this is really why I am a sunset tweaker right there.
The pier.
And look at it. I mean, all eyes obviously are focused on the sunset right here, right? I mean, what else would you possibly want to look at?
Beautiful water. Just epicness.
There was a little bit of lightning in the background, but just, fun.
That's the shot right there.
And it continues. So I don't know. That's a good shot, too. So if you guys have an opportunity. So why are we in Fort Myers Beach, Florida, Nick? I don't know. We went on a three-week road trip in Colorado, and that's the 5th annual road trip. Look at this guy.
He wanted to do a wheel kick, and
in the water.
We captured a couple of them.
3 weeks on the road. We got about 25 episodes filmed. If you go to themoderneater.com, you'll be able to see a lot of wonderful hyper-local content. And we have to thank, as always, the people that make this programming work and happen. Throw a couple of those logos up on there, Nick, with this beautiful background.
Absolutely.
This is what it's all about. Standing by for Erin Boyle. She's the executive director of CHOW, a nonprofit that's helpful for resources for folks that need it in the service industry. And I'm very, very pleased to be able to talk to her today.
We'll start with Sawatch. I mean, we use them every day of our road trip. It was amazing. The chefs love it. And
what do they make, Nick?
The eaters love it. Ooh, amazing cheeses.
Artisan products, butter. I love their butter.
Oh, yeah. We had tons of their butter. Even Cooper and Mary use their cheese up in Grand Junction.
All right, so what do you have up there? So watch Artisan Foods. I'll tell you about Royal Crest Dairy, and there's something big going on with Royal Crest right now. I'll tell you in the coming shows if I can get Scott Jones on from Royal Crest Dairy. There's some really exciting news going on with them. Also, and we'll just go to the other shot there of us, Nick, as we overlay these babies together. See the beautiful background with us. So Royal Crest Dairy, thank you guys as well. Colorado Mills Sunflower Products, Elevation Reps, Shamrock Food Service. We're trying desperately to get a bug into the Shamrock Food Service to talk to somebody. There's a competition, a chef's competition going on right now. You keep going back and forth from one thing to the next, Nick. You're making people dizzy. Which camera do you want there? A side-by-side? There we go. I love that sunset. There's the shot. That's the shot right there. Beautiful sunset as we continue. Brews Beers, Pueblo Chili Growers Association. That's coming up in next month, Nick. You ever been to the Chili Festival?
No, but I can't wait. I got a couple people in mind that really want to go. Robert and Shane Milberger, our friends down in Pueblo, they're ready to go, and we're ready to be there.
Yeah, on
September 23rd.
Friday, I think we're going to do a little preview of the Pueblo Chili Festival and try and get Danielle on the show with us. We'll be at the Pueblo Chili Festival. What are the dates again, Nick?
September 23rd, 24th, and 25th, 3-day weekend.
3-day
Cooking
weekend.
competitions,
Yeah,
chili, farm stands, everything.
Roasting chilies. I say make the trip, right? And book something if you can get an Airbnb or one of the hotels downtown. But you'd really be pleasantly surprised with what's going on down in Chile. in Chile, in Pueblo with the Chili Festival. For starters, at the Chili Festival, not only are you going to see all those great vendors and you come for the chilies, but the dining as well. 5-star experience if you go to 21 Steak.
You're going to get fed down there at the festival, and absolutely we have a close relationship with 21 Steak. That is such a fine dining dinner spot that is a must go to in Pueblo.
Also, the Spice Guy, can't thank you enough. We brought the Spice Guy spices along with us on our road trip. Again, themoderneater.com, and I'll just show them this side by side, Nick, themoderneater.com. We've got some great new content that's up there on the Modern Eater's website, and you can see some of these new blog entries you're going to want to just go and check out and just dig in. I mean, you jump in on any one of these, you're going to have a couple of things. You're going to have so obviously great photos by the Modern Eater. There's Zuri and James and Jeff, and the video right there of that particular stop that was in Palisade there. So as the days and weeks go by, we're going to be posting a lot of these videos for you. And I have to tell you, the theme, and it's real, Nick, it's the theme of inflation, and food is skyrocketing. Yesterday we were in a Publix. It's a grocery store. Obviously similar to like a King Soopers in Colorado. But inside the Publix, I was talking to the guy at the meat and fish counter, and he said, most of my prices for meat have doubled and tripled. Doubled and tripled. So you're seeing inflation and food costs and production of food skyrocketing right now, Nick. Skyrocketing.
And unfortunately, some products are being taken off the shelves and not even offered. So, I mean, you ask for something, and they're like, yeah, we don't order that right now.
And I have to tell you, local is the way to go right now, as you're starting to see what commodity food costs versus what local food costs. The gap is narrowing, and to just spend, you know, if not the same, but just a little bit more on some delicious locally grown or produced food, that the decision it's pretty clear right now on what you're going to do, and that's to support the partners and businesses in your local communities, wherever that may be, because I tell you, local is everywhere. So check out themoderneater.com. That's a fun place to be, because we're just furiously, frantically putting up new content on a daily basis. So you'll see that with themoderneater.com. On our Instagram, lots of cool stuff going on there. But what I like to see are these story recaps. And these story recaps are on a daily basis. You can see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. You get the idea as you go all the way down the line. And just a wonderful, wonderful place to be for Modern Eater content. And check out those stories as well as everything else there. Our YouTube channel, we're posting a lot of stuff on our YouTube channel, Nick. And you know, don't miss out on that. So check out these videos that we're working hard to produce for you, and would love to get our subscription base up a little bit higher. So when you're on our YouTube channel, why don't you go ahead and throw us a subscription like, and also notify yourself when we're live.
Yeah, and if you ever need to know a little bit more about a story, hit us up. Greg at themoderneater.com, Nick at themoderneater.com. You can comment on our Facebook, comment on a picture on Instagram. We're always available.
Yeah, it's all there for you. So one of the things that I did want to show is La Playa. And La Playa, as I get this up here, Nick, and I want to just play this slideshow. Hopefully we don't have to start from the beginning. We do. We have to turn the music off. Okay, there we go. Let's play this slideshow. So if you check it out here, where are we?
Oh.
All right.
I know that place.
In Naples, it's just south of Fort Myers Beach, and it's Naples, Florida. And in Naples, Florida, there's a resort called La Playa. And in La Playa is one of my favorite restaurants. It's called the Beleen, Beleen. And Beleen, look at this black grouper dish on a risotto, which was freaking unreal.
A work of art.
It was a work of art. And that black grouper, you've got the mahi-mahi. Equally as good, or just you wish you would have gotten the grouper?
I tried the grouper, and it was pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean, that grouper dish
yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah. But they also had blood orange jalapeno margaritas, which were pretty good, too.
Yeah, this time of year is really hot. hot and humid, so a lot less people, but that's La Playa, and that's in Naples, Colorado. These tacos right there, we didn't have enough food, so we had to go to a place in downtown Fort Myers, Florida, called what, Nick?
Cabos.
That's
Cabos Cantina.
Yeah, that's Cabos Cantina. So I want to do this as we go around to there and, yeah, just show that. I'm going to try and make this call. You guys can do this with us. I'm going to try and reach Erin Boyle right now from CHOW and see if she's available. And if she's available, I'll take that interview right now. But again, as we're working hard and doing a lot of this production stuff on the run, we appreciate you tuning in with us here today on the Modern Eater Show. You can catch all of our broadcasts. We will have on themoderneater.com. So if you miss anything from one day to the next, just check out themoderneater.com and it'll have it there for you. So Mark, let's see if we can get a hold of him. We'll go to Mark first. He says he's got a half a bar, but we'll check in and see if we can catch him at the Shamrock Food Show. Let's see. We need to come on.
Right. Come on, Mark.
The internet gods. Mark.
Shamrock.
Don't put it over there yet.
Shamrock.
Don't put it over there yet, Nick. Shamrock Food Show.
I'm willing it into existence. Let's go, Mark.
Let's see if we can make this happen, Mark.
Shamrock Food Show.
All right, I'm going to try and get Mark on a FaceTime call. Let's see if I can do that. So Mark Henry, what's Mark's restaurant in Colorado Springs?
Roosters House of Ramen.
That's right. I call Nick my the good part of my brain. Again, for those of you that are tuning in the Modern Eater Show, we are back Mondays, Wednesdays, Friday at 2 p.m.-ish. Especially when we're on the road like this, you cannot predict connectivity or anything. Just like this, as we're trying to get to the Shamrock Food Show, I think we're going to have to go past Mark and maybe see. I know a couple of other people that are there. Let's try Kyle Moyer. Let's see if he paid his phone bill. Kyle Moyer.
That's Mark's restaurant if you want to catch him out on Instagram.
Let's see. Moyer. I was just going to FaceTime him. Woo! I'm glad that wasn't on the screen. All right. Where's my FaceTime? Here it is.
We talked to him earlier in the week. Hopefully he...
Well, the thing is that when I call my friends, just flat-footed like that, you never know how they're going to answer the phone, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a fun mystery.
It's always colorful. Let's see if we can do that. Let's FaceTime.
All right, Kyle, here we go.
Kyle Moyer. I don't know, on our show on Monday, which actually we should make mention of, we had Chef Zuri Resendez on. We had James Doxson and Chef Jeff Chabot. We had those guys, all three of them, on a Facebook Live call, and it went seamlessly.
It was great.
So that was easy to do. This is not working.
Luchador
out.
Food Truck from Zuri, Vibe Concepts from James, and Hesher Barbecue from Jeff.
He did not answer the call. All right, Erin Boyle, here we come. Get ready to go. If this doesn't work out with Erin, we've got 2 interviews that we'll have to postpone, and we'll schedule them for Friday. But maybe Erin's by her computer. I told Erin a hit time of 2:45 Mountain Time. It's 4:45 in Fort Myers, Florida, right now, where Nick and myself are. So I don't think we're going to get any of our guests today, and it's just one of those days. I'll probably even delete this video. Did she say? Oh, she said, hey, what's up? Answer, Erin. Answer, Erin. Here's what we're going to do one way or another. If we have Erin Boyle, we'll bring her back. We're going to end this live stream right now, regroup, talk to Erin, see if she pops up, and then we'll start the live stream. And if it's the case, then we'll be back with Erin Boyle, the executive director of CHOW. If not, we'll catch up with you Friday and hopefully be a little bit, a little bit more put together for you. Yeah, I don't think Erin's going to answer either. There she is.
Oh, okay.
I know I caught her early. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
How are you? Caught you a little early. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So the Shamrock Food
How did
Show.
things go at the restaurant show?
Well, that was what we were telling you, is that for the last half an hour, Nick and I have been tap dancing around because no one's able to answer their phone inside of the food show. There were so many people, which is great for them, great for Shamrock, but not for a live hit out of the food show. So here we are a little bit early. Were you able to go take your walk?
I was, yeah, my walk for mental health.
That's fantastic. I need to do one of those today myself. As you see, there's a little bit of beach action going on behind us here.
Yeah, that seems like it's good for your mental health.
Absolutely it is. So we're just going to get organized here. And if you don't mind, we'll get going here, and we'll get a little side-by-side action going. And we'll get Erin on with me. Okay, this is a pleasure. So I've got Erin Boyle here with us. Introduce yourself, Erin. For those that don't know you, you're with CHOW. You're the executive director, but I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Who doesn't know me? No, I'm Erin Boyle. Like Greg said, I'm the executive director for Culinary, Hospitality, Outreach, and Wellness. I'm also a chef, daughter, sister, dog mom, potter, walker, music aficionado. Yeah, so I'm a lot of things.
Wow, that is a lot. I wish I had a list that long. I really don't. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings here, and we're in the culinary business and food service, and CHOW offers a lot of great resources. Talk about the resources, and then we'll get into some good, fun, deep conversation like nobody's listening.
Well, I'm going to start the deep conversation and challenge you to think of some of your words, because it was like a year and a half, 2 year long process to think about what I was besides the chef. So I'll let you think about it while I talk about CHOW.
I will, yeah, absolutely. I'm challenged now. I got to come up with something, and I'll have it by the time you're done.
Get a pen, get your words.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so CHOW started out as a way to support each other. So it was just group discussions that started at our founder, John Hinman's bakery, as a place for people to talk about what was going on. Fast forward, the pandemic came, shut everything down. We went virtual, and we were kind of accidentally national. So we realized that there was more of a need than just one meeting a week. So we now have 6 meetings. One of them is in Spanish, and one is for all women. The rest are open to anyone. They're all available virtually. Some have some in-person availability as well. Those meetings are facilitated by someone we call an expo, a person who has experienced life with mental health, substance use disorder, and in the hospitality industry. And they've also been trained on how to kind of guide the conversation so that it doesn't just turn into a bitch fest, which is often what happens when you get a bunch of restaurant folks together in a room. We also found out that, not everybody's ready for a meeting. So we developed a educational course called Amuse Mental Health Course. It's called Amuse because it's one little bite into the world of mental health and substance use, and how to support yourself or someone else that's going through some mental health or substance use issues. We've also developed a workbook, and that workbook is designed for folks that want to just take care of their holistic wellness. So everything, their physical, their social, their spiritual, their financial. The workbook is a good place to test yourself to figure out where you're at, and then to challenge yourself to look at, okay, if I'm only a 2 out of 10 on my finances, what can I do to improve that? And then we've got a lot of resources in there so that you can learn how to create a budget, how to save for buying a house or for retirement. And then most recently, we've come up with a workplace wellness toolkit, because we've been hearing from owners and operators, what can I do? I can't make my people go to a meeting. I can't afford for everybody to take the course at the same time and do it all together. What can I do? So we've learned from other businesses what works, and we're asking people to just give it a try. Take a tool from the toolkit, see if it works for your organization. If it doesn't, get rid of that tool, try another one.
Well, it sounds very multi-layered, actually, to where you have kind of a personal one-on-one. You have group settings as well. And then you have other resources that people can utilize and work through things themselves with some materials that you've made for folks as well.
Yep, we're trying to, again, meet people where they're at, wherever they're at. So if they're an owner operator, we have things for them. If you're any individual, we've got things for them. If you're just somebody that is in the industry or an industry vet that wants to come and talk, we're here for you too.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, just a great resource for people. And is this solely for food service folks?
It's for anyone in food, beverage, or hospitality. So, I mean, chefs, servers, suppliers, owners, writers, industry vets, farmers, um, anyone that works in hotel life, right? So, from maintenance to housekeeping, if you touch hospitality, you're one of us.
Yeah, so the organization has probably been around long enough to have seen some commonalities or some patterns that are happening with folks that you're serving. What are some of those glaring things that stand out that are like, these are issues that really need to be addressed that are popping up quite frequently?
I mean, unfortunately, we've been hearing a lot about suicide, completed suicide or suicide attempts. Um, there's also there's always been substance use and misuse. And since the pandemic, those numbers have risen. And burnout. Anyone that's been to a restaurant lately or works in a restaurant or any of those hospitality settings knows that everybody's understaffed, overworked, and they're just tired. And not just tired, to the point of burnout where they're going, I don't know if I can move next. Somebody else is going to just have to point me in the direction so I can move.
Yeah, it's true. There's kind of just, as I look at the context of just society right now, you think of pre-COVID and how things were, then during COVID, and then now kind of settling back out, especially in hospitality and food service. That there was for a while there during COVID, you had the guests cut them breaks, and maybe even you were seeing huge tips, you were seeing patience and just this very overall niceness towards them. And now it's worn off completely. Yeah, I mean, people are back to being their grumpy selves, or just guests that are picky, and there's not much benefit to being in on the front line serving or what have you in hospitality anymore.
I mean, except that we love it, right?
Well,
Most people are in it because they like being of service and they like the job, or we wouldn't be here. That's why I started in front of the house and I moved to back of the house. But I loved it. I loved seeing people have just an amazing evening or lunch or engagement. But yeah, there's a lot of downside. The guest is not ideal at the moment, always.
I think that things take a little bit of time to even out, but you're right. When you go down all of those bullet points of being short-staffed, of even if you're working in an environment to where it's not real stable because the restaurant's not real stable or doing very well, or you just kind of get in that bad groove to where those things can start to take a toll on you,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with it alone, or dealing with the problems of where you're like, man, I'm doing manager work, or I'm doing owner work, or all the way down the line. But you're right. We talk about this sense of servitude that people have inside of food service and culinary, where they want to see people happy and they want to see their guests happy. So it's that how do you go to work and give so much of yourself to the people you work for, your coworkers, the guests, but how do you go home and recharge yourself? How do you put that energy back into your body? And I think that's really where CHOW comes in handy, is to say, hey, here are some ways for you to be able to recharge your batteries and resources to be able to talk to other people that are struggling for those same resources.
Yeah. So, and we have all of that on our social media, on our blog, in our workbook. There's lots of tools that folks can try. I also think the meetings are a great place to say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Whether it's depression, anxiety, PTSD, 10 to 1, there's somebody else in the room that's going to have had the same experience and can say, Greg, I've been there, and this is what I did, and it really helped me. I've taken so many of those tools and tips from other people that have been through it that I'm like, that my therapist, who's amazing and has helped me a lot, just didn't suggest because she hasn't lived the life that I've lived.
Yeah.
Whereas at the chow meetings, everybody knows what I've been through. They have all worked the long hours. They've all worked with um, owners who are characters and what have you, so they can say, yeah, I've been there and this is how I got through it.
Can we do a little bit of role playing right now?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm just reaching out because I heard about Chow on the Modern Eater Show, and I don't know what to do next, but what I can tell you is that I'm just depressed, and I feel kind of alone and really don't want to reach out to people because, let's face it, when people feel vulnerability, some people will reach out and help you and lend a helping hand, but most people aren't really attracted to downers or people that have problems or people that, are seemingly going to bring the mood down. Like, oh, you're such a downer. I mean, people tend to rally towards people that are uplifting and motivating and have a lot of positivity going on. And those that's the time when people are willing to give you help, is when you don't need help. So when you're down and out and your thoughts are getting a hold of you and you're really not even wanting to get out of bed in the morning or do the things that excite you that don't excite you anymore, I approach you and I say, Erin, I don't even know where to begin. What do you do? How do you start with me?
Well, first thing I'm going to say is that I'm not a therapist. I'm a chef turned executive director because I'm passionate about wellness in the hospitality industry. And the second, I'll say, yeah, I've been there. And when you're in it, it's really hard to know the next thing. I personally have had long, destructive, major bouts of depression. And I've also had shorter, more manageable ones. But every single time I'm in a depressant place, it's like it's the first time. I have no idea what to do. Um, so what works for me is having a list of things that have worked in the past and somebody to remind me that there's the list. So whether it's a friend or a partner to be like, well, what worked in the past? And I can go, oh, right, taking a walk helps. And then all I need to do is figure out if and when I'm going to have the motivation to get up and do the walk. And then I can see if it helps. Um, I also think that, again, going to the chow meetings and sharing that, we're going to have some people that are in the same place. We're also going to have people that are in healthier spaces that might be able to say, hey, this is what I did to get there. And you can take one of their tools and try that out. I would also, I know this isn't the scenario, but if you're coming to me now saying, hey, I'm fine, I don't need anything, I would also encourage you to check out a chow meeting or establish a relationship with a therapist when you're doing well, because it's really hard when you're not doing well. And just like your physical health, you're going to go to the doctor and get, baseline tests so that you know that your blood pressure is normally this, your blood sugar levels are normally this. A therapist will get an idea of what you're like when you're doing well, so that when you come in and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I haven't been myself lately, they can go, okay, yeah, you do seem different. Let's talk about it. So somebody who knows you, and that's also what Chow can do. We've our members, our participants get to know each other and have relationships, so that when we're showing up differently, I can say, Greg, you don't seem like you were last week. Is something going on? Do you want to talk about it?
Wow.
Did that help?
Man, well, first of all, there was a couple of things that didn't even dawn on me. Yes, why not kind of do that inventory check when you're up and down? Then you kind of know where that baseline is for you, and other people's can do that too. I'm one of those people that, and I'm sure I share this with a lot of other people, is that I put that best face on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to seem vulnerable. I don't want to seem not stable, because that can be a ripple effect into a lot of areas in your life, in your relationships, in your business relationships. I mean, let's face it, who wants to give money to somebody who can't even manage their own life? And that, to me, is that vulnerability to where maybe, just maybe, that is why a chow meeting is so great. It's other people that are coming there for the same reasons, and that same reason is hey, let's just let all of that down. We're not doing business. We're not family. I mean, you could have acquaintances that are family members in there, but you're just all on the same playing field, and you're just having real discussions. I really like that.
And I want to be clear that you can show up however you want. You want to have your camera off and a fake name in the name box? We're never going to know. We're not going to force anyone to participate at any time. So you can come and just listen. We've had participants come and just listen for weeks before engaging with the conversation. And obviously they're getting something out of it because they keep coming to listen.
Yeah. What's a typical conversation like in a chow group meeting?
Okay, so I don't think there's a typical, but we always start off with a preamble that kind of introduces the space and how our lives are more, do, now.
Are
And
you attending every one of these meetings?
I attend a lot of them. I facilitate some as needed, but I try to get to at least one a week, and I think 3 are the ones that I go to.
And did you say there were 6 a week?
6 a week right now. We're trying to add some more.
What do you, I mean, how do you, that's 6 out of the 7 days. Are they pretty much daily except Sunday or something?
So we've got Monday night, and then Tuesday morning, afternoon, 2 at night, and then Wednesday afternoon. So we try to stagger them so folks can attend whatever their schedule is.
I have to do one. The last time I attended, the first and last time I attended a chow meeting, it was at the Colorado Restaurant Association in their basement. And you were doing them in person, I guess pre-COVID. You were doing them in person, and I thought it was just interesting to. It was a safe place to just speak your mind. You know, it was like, all right, just let it out. What do you got? You know, unload it. Like, and to me, you're right, Erin. Just hearing other people be vulnerable and talk about their stuff made me go, hey, listen, I'm going to put my hand up. Here's something I'm going to lay on you. You know, has anybody ever?
Yeah, and even if you don't share, I found so much validation in hearing that other people feel the way I feel. So I'm not alone in this world, the only person having these feelings of anxiety. Like, oh, so does that person, that's okay. All right. I'm not crazy. I'm just somebody that's struggling with anxiety, right?
Yeah, well, for sure. But are you making progress with that? I just have to wonder, is it like the misery loves company type of thing, or is it actually like we're motivating each other to think differently? Or, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, where does it go from there?
No, that's a great question. So all of our chow meetings, we do try to focus on the positive. Glass is half full. How can we do a little bit better? So if I'm saying, oh my gosh, I'm so anxious about work, my owner calls me every night to see what's going on. Sometimes they call at 2 a.m. and they get mad when I don't answer. And it's just really, the anxiety is building up. I feel like I'm walking in eggshells all the time. And someone else might volunteer, oh, well, when I was in that situation, I did XYZ. And the facilitator is there to kind of say, well, okay, your anxiety is really high right now. What's one thing you can do to lower your anxiety? Can you take a walk during the shift? Can you talk to the owner about boundaries? Like, this is when I am willing to accept calls and discuss the restaurant with you. So we're trying to look for solutions and have people leaving feeling just a little bit better. So we're never going to take away all of the problems, but we will hopefully be able to take the burden off a little bit.
Yeah. What do you do? So when you say facilitator, is that a trained professional or just a moderator, or what's a facilitator?
So they have been trained to moderate the meetings and to be able to give more resources. So if you come to a meeting and you share with us at some point, like, man, I'm never going to make rent this month because I missed 5 days of work because of COVID. The moderator can say, hey, Greg, why don't you stay on for an extra few minutes? Or they may even say during the meeting, type into the chat, like, here's where you can find resources to help you with the rent, angel relief through the Colorado Restaurant Foundation. Like that, they'll try to give you a bunch of resources to help so that, again, we're not fixing the problem, but we are empowering you to leave and find solutions.
I love it. I really do. A lot of times and everyone, when I say it's like I'm just dealing with what I do, but I get caught into my own thoughts. I get so sucked in so deeply into my own thoughts that you go, oh my goodness, how do I translate this? How do I process this? How do I get out of my own head for a while? Because let's face it, that little voice in the back of your head, that damn thing most of the time is not pumping you up and telling you how great you are and what a wonderful world it is. It's telling you like, hey man, you're broke or you're overweight or you're not good enough, or it's just this voice of doom, like, get out of my head. Stop, you can't do that. So I know that I'm not the only one, and that's not unique to just me or anyone else, but empowering each other with positive thoughts, positive thinking, techniques, ways to combat. And this is where you and I had, I think, a pretty good conversation the other day, because I was talking to you about, I think the human body gives you signals and triggers and tells you you're depressed for a reason, Greg. Get off your ass. If you want to lose a couple of pounds, then quit eating as much and maybe go for a walk a couple of times. I think that the human body has this way of making you feel uncomfortable when there are things that are uneasy in your life that you need to address. And you said to me what when I told you that?
Well, so I have I totally agree, and I have so many tools and resources in my personal toolkit for when I'm depressed. However, the last depression I went through, none of those tools worked. So even though I had all of the guidance in the world, I had therapists, I had CHOW, my body wasn't getting over it. The brain chemistry was there and I couldn't. So I had to get on medication for the first time. And I really didn't want to. I kicked and screamed for a year and then I had to play with medications, finding the one that worked. And now that I'm on it, I'm like, oh my God, life is so much easier. So I would say, do everything that you can, that your body is saying that it needs. Give it good food, give it sunlight, give it exercise. And know that sometimes that's not going to be enough for where you are, and medication might be the answer. I'm hopeful that I'm not going to be a forever user, but I also might be. I don't know. Life is a lot easier with help, and I'm trying to tell myself that I am good enough to get help.
I love it.
And accept help.
Well, the vulnerability, I mean, first of all, kudos to you I guess you kind of, if you're going to be the executive director of CHOW, you really have to walk the walk, right? And
I'll tell you, the first time I told people, I cried the whole time because I was so embarrassed. And this is like the third or fourth time, and it's getting easier, but I still have all my shackles are up going, don't tell that.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And I do really appreciate that, because it is situational, and obviously you've worked with trained professionals to see what's best for Erin Boyle. And again, our guest here today is Erin Boyle, the executive director of CHOW, a great nonprofit in Denver, Colorado. We'll talk more about what they have coming up as far as fundraising and events and some special things like that. But I think we're in the middle of a really kind of vulnerable, deep conversation that I think that a lot of people that will be watching this on the replay will identify with. And what that vulnerability or that security with being insecure. Wow, I mean, I really think that's what you were. You're very secure in the insecurity of what's happening and that vulnerability. And I think that if we can all come to that point, and again, what I'm seeing in this world right now, I'm Erin. I'm not optimistic. I'm not. I do look around and I do see people losing their shit, and I do see people being a little more evasive or abrasive to other people's plights in life. Tolerance is at its lowest. Compassion is hardly there. People that you think that you've known for years may be like, I don't know you at all at this point in time. And so when your thoughts become so consuming and confusing, and you're probably like, Greg, I mean, I don't know, are you speaking about yourself or third person? However you want to process that, my beliefs are that the only way, and that's why I do the Modern Eater Show, is to build community, to build resources and reinforcement, to support other businesses, to support the environment around you. And in a world today when we're so caught up in exactly what we're doing right now, the streaming and the content and stuff from across the world that consumes our thoughts and our minds, to where it's like, okay, let's just refocus on our everyday values and the people that are around us in our neighborhoods, and just gush, put all of our efforts, put all of our thoughts, put all of our love and our compassion and everything that we do in the person that sits next to you on a daily basis. Because damn it, we're giving the brunt of us, we're giving the worst of us to the immediate people around us. And instead of putting out there this false facade of how your Instagram picture or you're beautiful or you're perfect, where that's not the case, let's start getting real again. Let's have those conversations. Let's show up to these meetings. And I'm going to take the lead to do that. I'm going to peek in on some of these meetings. I'm going to lean into CHOW. And that's something that I've really wanted to do for a while, but I didn't know how to approach it, Erin. And I think
It's hard.
Right. And I think that mindset of I don't know how to approach something, even the longest journey starts out with one step. And that one step is what needs to be done for a lot of us right now.
Well, I'll tell you, my first chow meeting I went to, not I didn't need help. I'm fine. I'm fine. I went because I wanted to help other people. I was in Boulder. John and the chow meetings were in Denver, and I'm like, I can't get down to Denver from Boulder. Can we start a Boulder meeting? And he said, sure. So we started doing that. And I started going to the meetings, and I'm like, oh shit, this is for me. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I never would have gotten there if I had been like, Erin, you need help. I don't know why I've been to therapy, but like the idea of going to a group meeting, I was like, no, I don't need that. And now I'll tell you, if I, like, this week is the first week that I have not been able to get to any meetings, and I can feel it in my body. I'm a little different because I haven't had a place to dump. And not that we always dump, but there's usually something on our minds, whether it's a success or struggle. Like, I might just want to tell people like, oh my gosh, I got the raise.
Yeah.
Or, and I don't always want to tell it to some of my friends because they might not be in a good place.
Uh-huh.
And I feel guilty telling them about my success. But like,
Don't.
you know that feeling?
Yeah.
But like, chow is a place where I can go and be like, I got the raise.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, awesome. Or I can go and be like, man.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And you know what? Great point, because a lot of times these meetings end up in laughter. They end up in people just, and that's the beauty of life. You have that dichotomy of the ups and the downs. You have, and that's really the way life is. So when you have that roller coaster, it's about how do you be even? How do you find that middle space? How do you live in that middle space a little bit more? So now I'm intrigued because I may peek in there, and just like you said, is like Bob Barker. I don't know who I'm going to be or if the camera's off, but just dip your toe in the water. Again, the longest journey just starts out with the first step. And I think this resonates with a lot of people out there. And
And I want to jump in and let people know, again, I know I've said it a couple of times, but I want to try it a different way. Like, it's okay to be just not okay. So I feel like some people need to get to a rock bottom to look for help. Um, we want to encourage people not to go that far. If you're just having some sort of crunchiness, like a conflict with your partner or with a coworker, come and talk about that. Don't let it get to, oh my God, I'm at rock bottom.
Yeah.
Come and get it out now so that you can be like, okay, I was just not okay. And hopefully we'll help get you to, okay, I'm okay again.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of okays in a very little time.
It's okay. Um, so this is what we need to do. We need to talk about how people can get that toe in the water. There's a few places that you can go. You have a website, you have a Facebook page. There's probably other resources. I'd imagine you have a newsletter. But if you wouldn't mind just sharing some of those ways of just being able to reach out, Erin, if you could.
Sure. So our website is chowco, CHOWCO.org. Most of our handles for socials are CHOW_org. And we just got a TikTok, and I think it's Chow303.
Nice. Great. You got a TikTok. I want to see what's on Chow's
Oh man, we
TikTok.
were so our head of community is amazing, and our first TikTok went pretty big. I think we've got like 496,000 views.
What? I'm going to look
Yeah.
at that right away after the
Isn't
show.
that cool? I'm
That
like,
is really
huh.
cool.
I don't really know how to TikTok. I'm not in that world, but I'm like, that's more views than I think my entire Facebook content over the last 10 years.
For sure, for sure. And yeah, we'll leave it to the pros to do those things, but we'll build upon that. Now, events come at us fast and furious, and you like people to just reach out and say if you have ideas or if you've been to an event before, how can it be a little bit different? Someone on the stream says chow_303.
That would probably be our head of community. Thanks, Jess.
Is on there as well. We'll break out this interview and let it stand alone. Unfortunately, we were up against the wire. We didn't have much time to promote ahead of time, but we'll make sure that we get this interview blasted out there. So we'll cut it out real nice, put it on our website, send it to you guys. But I want to talk about events right now. As far as events go, you've had a couple in the past. There was one at Sloan's Lake, and you've got one coming up. Could you talk a little bit about your events, Erin?
Sure. So, two of our events this year are community events. So, we had the Wellness in the Park event that was in May. And that's just a way for us to get together, have a really fun day in the park. We had hamster races where you crawled in the ball and ran around like a hamster. We had paddle boards, yard games, but we also had some educational and health focused things like you could sign up for Connect for Health Colorado, or you could get a massage, or go to Stretch Lab, or uh, sign up for a therapist. Kesed Wellness was there talking about their pro bono program. They've got 16 individual clinical therapies for hospitality professionals. So if you want a therapist, sign up for their pro bono program. Um, Coming up, we have the Harvest Festival. That's October 2nd. And again, it's a community event. The idea is that it's a really affordable and approachable day to spend together as a hospitality industry. We're going to have carnival games, potato sack races, pumpkin patch, cider, food truck, face painting, all the things that make a fall festival fun at a price point that won't kill folks in our industry. Um, then we've got our fundraiser that's September 8th. The Levitt Pavilion was kind enough to partner with us. So we've got VIP access to the Rebirth Brass Band concert. Those tickets are $115. It includes a charcuterie and cheese board, 2 drinks, seating, hot dogs from Urban Hot Dog. These are the fanciest freaking hot dogs I've ever seen in my life. I've never had a hot dog with caramelized onions and mushrooms and what else? I think he had Cheeto dust.
Nice.
I mean, it was intense. He was also at our wellness event, so he'll be there. And then there'll be mocktails and some door prizes.
Awesome. I want to attend that event as well. And all that information is on your website, I would imagine.
On a website and on Eventbrite and on all of our social media.
I'd check out. I mean, get a part of, get into their Facebook group as well. I'm sure that's where you can see all the meetings. Are all of your meetings on Zoom format? Is that what you get in on?
Everything's available on Zoom, and then we do have in-person meetings that are hybrid in Denver, Steamboat Springs, and Colorado Springs.
Awesome. This won't be the last interview that Erin and I do together. I think collaboration is really what we want to do. And again, we're going to lean into CHOW. I think it's just an awesome resource for folks to have inside of hospitality, culinary, and food service. I can tell you that this is not a sober group, so
Correct.
don't think that you're going to go and you're going to see people preaching to you about lifestyle choices and that kind of thing. It's just an open group of conversation, and really that health and wellness, I believe, is going to come from community and building a strong community of people that aren't afraid to be themselves and to talk about what's very real out there right now. And there's a lot of that going on, Erin.
Yeah, no, and again, I mean, share what's working. We'd love to hear what's working. That really helps people.
So I'm trying to think of some things that work for me. Now, Erin, I have to tell you that I do some of my best thinking in the shower. When
Same.
I'm in the shower, I'm getting things that come into my mind. I can do show prep in there. It's just a very quiet place to where, it's personal to you. You're in the shower. It's just you. I'm not lucky enough to share a shower with anybody, so just me and
It's worse than it sounds. You're either hot or you're cold. You're wet, but cold. No, don't do it.
No, okay. I was hoping maybe I could add to my shower experience, but it sounds like it's where it needs to
You
be.
try. You try. You. In my experience, it's a lot of hype. Unless you've got a couple different shower heads.
Yeah. Also, what works, like you said, a walk. Just a nice walk. And you know what that does? I think a lot of times just get a change of atmosphere. Just look at something different. Get your stimulation going towards, when you're on a walk, you can't help but to take other things in, and generally your blood's flowing and those types of things. I think walks are fantastic. Nick, what are some of the things that you do when you're out trying to get your brain good? Run steps, run flights of
Yeah, go for a run or yeah, get out into nature and just kind of decompress. Find somewhere
Yeah.
quiet where there's almost no sound at all. We're all cooped up with our phones, and most of us are dealing with city life. Just get out somewhere where you can't hear a single soul.
like
Yeah.
the beach too. What else do I like to do?
I hate driving, but I just discovered that if I have everything off, no podcast, no radio, I have a really good, it's like the shower. I can have some really good thoughts, and I'm like, oh man, this might make me hate driving less.
You don't like to drive?
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I'm ready for those driverless cars. I'll give them all my money. Sell the house. We just want a driverless
Yeah.
car. But I do, if I'm a passenger, I can dick around on my phone. But if I'm driving with everything off,
It's true.
all of a sudden I'm like,
It's true.
oh, well, my brain's working.
Yeah.
That's neat.
All right, so I have homework to do. I have a couple of things. Number one, I need to get my words, right?
Yep, you need to get your words.
Okay, so I've got a couple of, I'm a broadcaster. So what? Did you know I'm a balcony farmer?
I didn't.
I like to farm on my balcony. Yes, that's
How
true.
many plants do you have?
Well, I've probably have 5 different varieties of basil, which is there. I've got a little bit of sage. I've got some garlic. I've got some lemon thyme. I have 4 different varieties of jalapenos, although the no-see-ums have managed to eat half of my crop, which is terrible. But I'm a balcony farmer as well as a shower thinker, which I told you that.
Solo shower thinker.
That's right. Not by choice. A sunset seeker. I love sunsets. I think they're beautiful and calming. I am a reggae music lover. I am, let's see. I love warm weather, so I love sandals and shorts. Is fantastic. And what else is about me? I think there's a couple other things, but they're fairly embarrassing, Erin. I don't know that.
I'll give you one.
Well, I'm very good at painting ladies' nails, fingernails. I've
I
never
would not
told
have
any.
guessed. I wouldn't. But next time if we see each other in person, I'll have a bottle of polish with me.
It'll be the best. I was raised by my mother and my sister, and they both had great grooming as far as their nails went. And I, as an inquisitive young man growing up, Nick's just shaking.
It's a resume builder. It's a resume builder.
That's not embarrassing at all. I think it's cool. But yeah, I mean, I think we're such a binary society. You are this thing.
Yeah.
I am a chef.
Yeah.
Like it was a real ego trip when I stopped working in restaurants. I'm still not over it, right? It's been 10 years and I still am like, am I a chef if I'm not in a restaurant? And so I had to do a lot of work on like, what am I if I'm not just my job? And it's led to a lot of good insight on who I am and what I want, and what my values are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think starting with the words is a great place.
Do you mind if we put Nick on the spot and get his
Hi,
words?
Nick.
How are you?
What are your words,
Good to
Nick?
see you all the way on screen, besides just your bicep.
It's 97 degrees out here, so we have to keep our health going well.
All right, Nick, what are your words?
What are my words?
That's
Well,
a lot
like-
of pressure, Greg. I gave you warnings.
I know, but Nick's good at this.
Well, like you said, I'm a brother. I'm a friend. I'm a pseudo uncle to my friends' kids. I'm a son. I'm a veteran. I like Greg. Love sports. Just love food, obviously.
Yeah.
From all the trips we've had.
I think that was
Good food and
pretty good.
beverage.
He did a great
Yeah, that
job.
was really good off the cuff. All right, you know yourself. I guess you weren't in the hospitality industry. You didn't get beaten up. Lose your sense of self yet.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Marines, so that's a whole
great.
nother
Okay,
story.
Nope, you had a whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had it easy.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding.
Aaron, we were at a restaurant earlier in the week, and this poor young lady, well, first of all, we acknowledged that it's like, your shift looks like hell right now. You are going through hell. She goes, this has been the worst shift I've ever had. So she had about 14 to 17 people at a table that each wanted a separate check. And she was going around in a circle getting their iced tea and their 4 wings that they had. And it didn't just stop at that being terrible. It stopped at like, I had 4 wings and Lois had 2. Can you divide up the 6 wings to? And this girl, she literally wanted to crawl into under a rock into a hole. And it's those types of things to where we should go back there and drop the link on her for a CHOW meeting.
When can we start that Fort Myers chapter down here?
Well, and again, so we're open to everyone,
Yeah.
everywhere, all the time.
Worldwide.
We're growing, but we want to have sustainable growth. So we would like to expand out of Colorado, but we want to make sure we know what we're doing before we unleash that on the world.
Get that.
So they are. I didn't know you all were in Fort Myers. I've been there. That's a great area.
This is the health and wellness part. This is the wellness. Hey, you know what's cool? I want to drop this mention. And because in the beginning of his book, Chef Brother Luck's book is out, and I'm so glad that he wrote a book, because there's one thing that besides being a mentor and a leader and just a guy who's not afraid, the first chapter of his book was talking about vulnerabilities and feeling awkward and out of place and not being good enough. And I want to tell you, if you guys are out there, look at, I'm sure it's on Amazon or reach out direct to Brother Luck. But get that book. Check into it and start reading it. And that was another thing that I picked up this book, and it was there's pages inside this really weird thing, and you open it up, and there's a bunch of words, and you hold it in your hand, and it doesn't have other things chiming in and bothering you with different alerts. And so it was a book, and it was so calming to open up a book, be by myself, and concentrate on something. And it was just like, wow, I need to start reading like that again. But Brother Luck's book, if you get an opportunity, grab one of those babies. I'm sure he'll send you one.
Yep, I have one. I just started it, and he was gracious enough to put us in the page. So
Perfect.
he's a big supporter of us. We actually have our Colorado Springs meetings are at the Lucky Dumpling.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. You guys are everywhere. My new hashtag, Lean Into Chow, which I think everybody needs to do. People look at local, causes, nonprofits, charities, things that they go, well, what's worthwhile? Because believe it or not, there are people out there that have cash all over the place. I don't know many of these people, but there are people out there like, I wonder what charity that, I want to feel good about. You can feel good about Chow. I can tell people right now, unequivocally, you can feel good about helping build resources and giving your hard-earned money to Chow.
And everything helps us. We're a small startup. We're still grassroots. You know, um, all charities are good charities. I like to believe, but I can tell you, your dollar goes a lot further with us because we're so small.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we've kept you probably way longer than you wanted to, but having this conversation with you and Nick here with me, and you can't see her, but she's across the way from me. I won't even say her age. My mom, lovely woman. She came to Fort Myers. She's relaxing with us here today and the next few days here. People, here it is. Count your blessings. I mean, start looking there. Look at the things that are right in your life. Look at the things that are good in your life. Love the people that are closest to you. Put thought and effort into those things, and then put your blinders on with the rest. You can't go too far out of your own sphere because it's just going to drag you down and drive you crazy. So start where you can, and again, just start.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Always happy to talk to y'all.
Thanks, Erin. I appreciate it. That's Erin
Especially
Boyle.
when I get to look at palm trees in Florida. This is great.
you want a tour? There she is. I think she heard us talking about her. Can you see Mom back there? She's walking.
Hi, Mom.
Oh,
Hi,
there
Mom.
she is.
Heading to the beach.
She's coming.
All right.
How can that not make you?
Oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, eh?
Oh, man, there it is. Erin, thanks for letting us catch up with you. I appreciate it. We're going to cut this video out, the interview, and we'll have it over to you in a day.
Okay. Sounds great.
Bye,
Thank
Erin.
you.
Take care,
That's
y'all.
Erin Boyle.
Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did get a hold of her. That's fantastic. Nick?
Definitely. I mean, a great talk, a lot of different resources.
And I'm not Erin Boyle. Put us both on there. Oh, geez. So today, again, I don't even know if we need to apologize because we can. I mean, this is a stream, We're building up the stream. Nick's got Nick, what happened to your logo there?
We're sitting on opposite sides.
I just noticed that. I'll be Nick Epstein for a day.
Company colors. Company colors, both sides.
That's right. That goes on that side, and that goes on the other side. I'm Greg Hollenbach. That's Nick Epstein. Mark Henry, I cannot answer these calls, man. Let's see. Let's just don't put it up yet, but let's just see. Let's just see. Let's just see.
Any day, Mark.
Are they dancing back there?
Come on, Mark. Shamrock Food Show.
I don't think it's going to happen. Whoa!
Ho!
All right.
Yo.
Hey, you're on the show, man. You're live, so just giving you a heads.
Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be good.
You're out of there.
Yeah, man, it was packed and not much going on.
So this is our friend Chef Mark Henry, and Mark is back in his vehicle. He was at the Shamrock Food Show. We were commissioning Mark to Chef to give us the coverage of the Chef's competition, but maybe you took it in. I don't know. Can you give us an update, Mark, of what happened?
So actually, they were experiencing some technical difficulties there while I was there, and they pushed the chef competition back, so it hadn't even started by the time I left.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think everybody was having some networking issues there.
Yeah, boy. I mean, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. But you get into the convention center, And first of all, they make you pay out the nose for Wi-Fi. It's like, I just want to get on a Wi-Fi thing. They're like, do you want to schedule a technician to come in and turn on a hub for you? No, I don't want that. And then your cell service is terrible because
Yeah.
it's just so many people crammed into a room. So I can imagine that the technical issues were terrible. But this is Chef Mark Henry. He's the owner of Roosters House of Ramen in Colorado Springs and just a great industry guy. Love catching up with you one way or another, but he was at the Shamrock Food Show. We were trying to get a little insight. But if you wouldn't mind, Mark, just give us the lay of the land. Paint that picture for us, Mark, since we couldn't get our boots on in the ground in the convention center at the food show.
Yeah, so they had some really cool stuff this year. It was a larger venue than they typically hosted in. So they had a whole corner of like artisan meats and cheeses and stuff that hasn't been available on a commercial level prior to this year. They had some really neat cleaning solutions that were kind of cool to see, like kind of where that industry advanced during the whole pandemic, and some of the newer technologies and materials that they're using to help us keep our restaurants clean so that our customers are getting a good experience. Some new local farmers coming out with some of their proteins that they're raising on different feeds, and they've had we've all been complaining, Greg, for the last 2 years about the pandemic and how it kind of messed everything up. But going to this show today, it was kind of cool to see what people did with that time while everything was slowed down. The advances in the industry and the way to make things more sustainable moving forward and to bring new things to the table. I actually think we're going to see a little bit of resurgence in our industry to kind of bolster things and do them a little bit differently and break the quid pro quo that we've all been used to for the last 200 eons in our industry.
Yeah, a lot of innovation not only is taking place, but needs to take place. And just yesterday, I was having a conversation with the guy at the meat counter at our local Publix here in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. And he said to me, man, our beef prices have doubled and tripled in some instances. And the inflation is just off the hook, the cost of doing business. And, a lot of the chefs that we talk to say, hey, listen, restaurants, we've been at the end of this forever. We're always trying to figure out how to cross-utilize or make our food costs low or just save money however we can. This is nothing new to us. But now we're getting the tail end of everything getting very, very expensive. What are you doing to handle those types of things right now in your business?
So honestly, we had probably the biggest breakthrough that we've ever had at our place. We rolled out, so we have our whole regular menu, that we change quarterly, but about 3 weeks to a month or so ago now, I think, we rolled out on the opposite side of our menu. We did another full menu that's all 100% vegan. And
crazy.
What it's done is, number one, you've got relationships or couples where they have mixed diets. Husband won't eat shit but potatoes and beef, and the wife is vegan. They can now come in and eat lunch or dinner together. Or we've got, I didn't realize how much the vegan community communicated with one another. People come in and do lunch parties. It's 100% vegan. They really enjoy it. But we really went above and beyond on this menu in the sense that it's not just salads or tofu or mushrooms. We got real creative. And Greg, you're familiar with my food. We did vegan food on the same level of standards that we do everything else.
Love it.
But the other thing with it too is, you can feed a vegan for a month for the same cost that you would go to a steakhouse for one night. So the food is a lot cheaper, and it has really opened up for, a different style of cross-utilization. The vegetable that we use in a dish might actually be the center of a plate on a vegan dish, but it's just really good. And it works great with the other components, and you're not just throwing cauliflower or broccoli or asparagus on a dish to check that box. So we've started doing those. We're playing with a lot more seafood. The seafood industry has really been up and down, so we're keeping an eye on that. And then, with caterings, that's been helping out a ton. So we're able to cross-utilize things there as well.
Awesome.
And then we've just been booking a ton of events. Come November, we're actually going to be hosting the Colorado Springs Vegan Restaurant Week launch party at Roosters. And we'll be doing 100% vegan, low-country crawfish and shrimp boil.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah,
that
it'll
is
be a lot of fun.
Well, it's interesting because, a carnivore can eat a vegan's diet. A vegan can't eat the carnivore's diet. And Nick and I, Nick Epstein here, Greg Holland back here talking to Mark Henry, chef, Colorado Springs. On our road trip, our 5th annual road trip, our first stop, Mark, was at a vegan wood-fired pizza place in Minturn, Colorado, just outside of Vail. And, man, they served us up some mac and cheese that was so baller bomb, delicious, and the pizza was off the hook. And I'm telling you, people, and I don't know whether the lexicon needs to be changed for vegan just because it's been bastardized so much, but there's some good food going on in the vegan world right now.
There really is. Back in the day, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when I started getting my feet wet in the cooking industry, vegan meant rabbit food. It's just not the case anymore.
Well, and it also meant politics. There was a very political undertone to vegan that really had no place in food, right? I mean, you as a chef, you don't give a damn about any politics. You care about making good food that's affordable that people can eat.
Well, the thing with vegan food, and I actually had a sit down with a very prominent vegan in Colorado Springs. Her name is J.L. Fields. She's been a vegan cook for 20 years. She's published some vegan cookbooks. And back in the day, she was a big part of that vegan political movement. And I explained to her, and I hope this is okay for your show, but as a chef, we never really got that far into the politics. We were more concerned if our cocaine was pure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So now that there's been some technological advances, and that vegan pizzeria, I would put $100 down saying that they're using cheeses that are made with potato starch, which is something that I would have never thought of, but is a huge precursor to the vegan food industry right now. It makes for a fantastic texture, mouthfeel, flavor, and it reacts just like regular cheese.
It's true.
But it opened up so many different opportunities within the niche of vegan food that 20 years ago we just wouldn't have been able to produce vegan food that's as delicious as it is now. There was always a trade-off to being vegan back in the day. It was like, I'm very self-righteous and I don't like, animals being harmed, but I'm willing to compromise and eat food that tastes like shit. Now they can eat food that tastes great and still have their laurels. And because the food is more approachable, I think it's opened up to such a wider breadth of individuals. I mean, I've been eating vegan for going on 2 months now. Every now and then I break it a little bit because I used to slaughter animals, so I'm okay with that part. I've already put that thought to bed within myself, but I feel better. Every now and then I'm still like, hey, I need a steak, or I need this, or I need that, but for the most part I have been eating vegan, and it's been helping me, with my personal health. I've lost a ton of weight, feeling better, but there's just so much better product out there now than there was 20 years ago when it was a political movement.
I was going to say, man, you're looking good, brother. You're looking good.
It's the beard.
It makes your beard look skinny. Yeah. Well, dude, I'll tell you what, man. We're here in Florida until next Tuesday, but we want to stop by and pay you a visit in person and catch up with you then. Do you mind if we do that?
Oh, please. Let me know when you're coming so I can make sure I'm available.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Busy guy right there. I don't know, man. What do you want to leave us with? Chef Mark Henry, and that's Roosters House of Ramen in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, swing on by, grab some vegan food. We'll chat about it and explore some of the other opportunities, man. Have fun out there in Florida. Eat some seafood that I can't afford to buy here while you're there, okay?
Dude, do you like grouper?
I like it all.
Oh.
Except for salmon.
Except for salmon, all right? That's usually the other way around. I like just salmon and not anything else, but you're an adventurous guy. All right, chef, a talented chef right there. His name's Chef Mark Henry. Thanks for being on the Modern Eater Show. We'll catch up. We'll catch up quick.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, so that was Mark on today with a totally different than what we were intending to have him on from the Shamrock Food Show.
But he delivered
He did.
straight from the heart. He gave us the vegan philosophy, the little bit of the show, and
Today was such you guys, I mean, you don't want to hear us whine about our production. You know, here we are. We're out here on a freaking beach trying to do things in the sand and bring you a show and kind of recap our road trip. But what we can tell you is on Friday, we'll have more road trip recap from you.
definitely.
We didn't do it today, but we'll have a little bit more industry news, some of the new restaurant openings and closings. We kind of just want to be that topical, current events, things that are going on. And as we kind of iron out our technical things, we'll be adding to it, and it'll be good. We'll be on a lot of remote broadcasts and doing a lot of fun things. So on Friday, we'll get it regrouped, 2-ish. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2-ish, Nick.
2-ish.
Today was one of those days, man. We checked out of our Airbnb unexpectedly. We are currently homeless.
We had to pivot, although we have some sand behind us that we need to lay down or jump in the water.
It looks like some storms are coming through. I don't know. You want to jump up and get that camera and do a little show around for the end of this broadcast, or are we done for the day?
I think we're about done.
I think we're
but
done.
we're not done at the Salty Crab. They're about ready to take care of us.
All right, show the website here for one last time. We want to show you what's going on. And again, themoderneater.com. We've got a lot of great new blog posts up in there. Check this out: the Hog in the Hand, Marion Cooper, Grand Junction, Colorado. This is Mackenzie and Chris. That's Clark's. Clark & Co.'s Distilling, and that's in Palisade, Colorado. Also, this is a recap from yesterday's show. Anybody that's interested in a past show that we did, it's going to look just like this. So today's show will package up. We'll put a nice ribbon on. It'll have the show in its entirety. It'll pop up here in a second, the link to the YouTube. And
the
then,
Modern Eater Network on YouTube.
And then, of course, we have to thank all of our sponsors: Brews Beers, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products, Elevation Reps, Royal Crest Dairy, Swick & Associates, The Spice Guy, Swatch Artisan Foods, Shamrock Food Service, Pueblo Chilies Growers Organization, and Carboy Winery. This is a little look from the show that we – hey, it looks like a carbon copy there.
Created something.
But we had some good guests on. Look at these chefs. And Charles Talbot as well. So make sure you check out our past shows. We've got everything posted again on our YouTube channel. We'd appreciate it if you clicked on right up here. See where it says notifications? Just click on that notification, and you'll get notifications for the Modern Eater. So Friday, we're going to regroup, bring you a good show, and more from Southwest Florida, Fort Myers Beach. And for myself, Greg Hollenbach, and Nick Epstein, we're going to kick that rock on down the road. We'll return Friday at 2 p.m.-ish Mountain Time, and we'll see you then. The Modern Eater Show, we will continue. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Erin Boyle from CHOW, and Mark Henry.